How you doing?
I'm good, man. Can't complain. Same as everybody else, stuck in the house right now, trying to see what's next, trying to see when the lockdown will be over. But enjoying it at the same time. A lot of family time, a lot of downtime, which is always good, I think. And then it also gives some pieces of the world to clean up and just kind of get things under control.
How did the whole XFL thing go down? How did you find out that that they're not going to come back?
I don't know. Somebody sent a text message in one of my group messages and was like, "Is this true?" So you always look and be like, "Oh, that's fake news." So I went on Twitter, which is probably my favorite app, and just kind of looked. Once you can kind of get a verified account that does it, that says it, or you can put it into the search, and a lot of people are saying there's usually some validation to it. And so then shortly after that, I found out when the rest of the world found out. It's not like that we had any kind of knowledge the day before, hours before. I think we found out at the same time that everybody else found out, and everybody was pretty much caught off guard after, everyone was saying that they expect a full 2021 season.
What what do you think? What do you think of when you look back at the XFL? What do you think of? Is it more of like what could have been? Would you say?
I think a lot of people will look at it as that, especially here in Missouri, especially because we got such a great turnout with the fans. Every game was pretty much sold out. I think they did a great job at broadcasting the games on mainstream networks like ESPN, like Fox. And I think it was headed in the right direction. I think they had a great revenue coming in, but this virus has pretty much shut down a lot of sports. So we already knew, even the NCAA took a big hit this year financially. Everybody is taking big hits financially. And to see a startup business like that, it was just no way. So honestly, I think it went longer than I thought it would last before they actually folded, because that's just too hard a pill to swallow in the first year. But I think we're all thankful, because if somebody guarantees you 5 games and some excitement and to meet friends that you thought you would never meet before and guaranteed you that it'll be exciting, I think we all will sign up for it.
What was it like for you to be on the big stage again, on the national networks, being in a locker room with, back in the pro game?
I don't know, you just feel like one of the guys again. I think that's the main thing. Whenever you kind of sit out of the game for a while, whenever you're away from the game, what you miss most is the locker room. What you miss most is this guy from, like, I don't know, Tampa, Florida, that you never thought that you'll get to meet, or that you'll become best friends with. You basically come in as strangers, and then by the time you leave, you're getting wedding invites, or somebody actually being their wedding, or like stuff like that. So a guy like Jordan Tamu, who signed with the Chiefs here, once the season ended, me, him, and a guy named Brandon Raleigh, who I hung out with a lot. We went to Kansas City just for like a last hurrah, with the guys and stuff, because Brandon was moving most of his stuff back to Lincoln, Nebraska, where he's from. So we kind of went there. So to see him get signed there, who's one of my main guys, is real interesting. So like I said, you go in and you all are perfect strangers, but at the end of the day, you build these relationships and these bonds. So that's what it feels like to be one of the guys. As far as on the football field, of course, you miss the crowd yelling whenever you make a big catch. You miss that touchdown feeling, because you don't really get that anywhere else in the real world. It's nothing like hitting a home run or shooting a game-winning three, or like making a goal in hockey or soccer. You only can get that in sports. And so for myself, this is year 6 or 7, can't even keep up at this point, honestly. It felt good. And then if this is the end for me, at least I went out with 100 yards, I guess. I'll just say, hey, at least I went out with a little bang.
What do you think of the St. Louis fans and how they reacted to a football team?
I think most of them were excited about a professional football team, and I think the other ones just wanted to just throw a big bird to the owner of the St. Louis, now the Los Angeles Rams. But either way, it worked out, and they showed up and they showed out. They was by far the most amazing fans in the XFL. It wasn't even close. And the thing is, the dome was honestly didn't even have the upper level open, and they did for our next, which was going to be our next home game, which was expected about 45,000+. I think they sold out in the first day, half of the upper deck already. So I think that city definitely deserves a sports team. Anybody on our team will tell you that. The way that the news covered it, the way that the radios covered it, the way that the fans showed up, the way that they supported our team. The rally walks before the games were insane. Like it was almost like the Tiger Walk. So it was amazing.
Do you think the XFL has a shot at coming back? And like, do you think it should come back? Is it possible for any sort of organization to compete with the NFL?
I think it's possible if the NFL actually looked into helping an organization like the XFL succeed. And I think it only helps the NFL. I think it gives them a great source to develop and young talent. I think it gives a chance to guys that have injuries or something to go out and prove themselves. If you think about it, you look at it, it's only 53 men on a roster in the NFL. But if you see the production and some of the talent that was in the XFL, guys are good enough. It's just not a great number of positions open. It's just like applying for the best jobs in the world. Only the top 1% or less than will get it. That's why, the average NFL career is less than 3 years. It's because every year it's thousands and thousands of people auditioning for that job. And if you can get younger and cheaper, then of course, but that doesn't mean that the older guys still can't play. Some organizations have to go younger and cheaper. So whatever reason a guy get X'd out of the NFL, at least they have a source to keep playing. We talking games that these kids or that myself have been playing since we was 8, 9 years old, and having to retire at 25, 26, because it's just not enough positions. So if the NFL was to help a league like the XFL succeed, it also helps the NFL. I mean, the AAF last year folded after 8 weeks, but about 80 guys signed to NFL teams.
You talked about Jordan getting the job with the Chiefs. Your boy Andy Hill's now working with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Is there, any chance, I know I'm biased here, but I think he could play in the NFL for sure. Any chance, any talks or anything that you can disclose about anything?
No, man. Honestly, I don't even have an agent. I'm not looking to sign an agent, honestly. I think for me, I wanted to play because I was having fun with it. It wasn't all the other stuff that goes with it. It was just going out there, having fun, and playing with guys that are making the same amount of money that I'm making, and that are competing and have the same goal that I had, and that's to go out there and just continue to play the game that we fell in love with. I was on 7 NFL teams for whatever reason. I was never in a full camp and OTAs with a team the whole time because I always got hurt. And that always played a big role in me not making a team because, you have to be there, especially whenever you're in a position like myself. I don't take any of it back. I think I've shown that I can play receiver, whether that me being able to contribute on special teams in the NFL or not. I didn't play any special teams, which was the case while I was there, which is another big reason I didn't stick. But as far as playing receiver, I think I'm one of the best to play. And I think I still can play, but unfortunately, I don't see myself going back, honestly.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't know. I've just been around it so long, and I just kind of know how the system works, and I kind of know how those things generally play out. I think I enjoyed the XFL more to where I can play meaningful downs instead of just being on a team collecting a paycheck. And so I think I'd rather just be true in myself and understand who I am and what my goals are. And also, I'm enjoying the family time. If I could play football 3 months out of the year and then the next few months be free and just enjoy as much family time as possible, I think that's the schedule that I pretty much prefer at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So if there's another sort of XFL, you think you'd be interested in that then, if something else pops up?
No, if nothing happens this year, which at this point I'm already looking into doing other things. So if that comes first, but I think it's pretty much a wrap for me. I've had my fun. I can't complain at all. I think everything played out the way it was supposed to play out for me. I met so many amazing people along the journey. If you'd have told me my senior year at Mizzou, I played professionally for 6-7 years, I wouldn't have asked you how it turned out or how it went. I would have said, okay. And it wasn't, ideal, but it was the perfect situation for me. And so I'll take it and run with it, Coming out of high school, I didn't even think I could play at college, honestly. So to tell me that I had 6 extra years after college, I'll sign up any day.
Yeah, I'd say you've had a heck of a career, man. Is coaching, we've me and you have kind of joked around about getting in Coach Drinkwitz's head, but is that something maybe next step, getting into college coaching? I know you kind of tested the waters this past year with.
Yeah, I think that'd be right now it's tough just for everybody because most coaches don't even know if there will be a season, but I think there will be, me personally. But I have talked to Coach Drink. We have had a conversation, and this was before I actually even went to camp in the XFL, and he asked me how long did I want to continue to play for, and he told me he'll definitely take me up on my offer to help out at Mizzou. And then after the first XFL game, I got a text message and it was from Coach Drink. So I think he's just a great guy. He always texts me or he always sends me little um, slight text messages, and so we definitely have a good relationship. And so if that opportunity came up, it'll definitely be something that I would look forward to, or that I would gladly accept over playing ball at this point in my life for sure. Whatever aspect it is of me helping out at Mizzou, just because I love Mizzou, honestly, and I've made home here.
What do you think of Coach Drake? What were your initial impressions of him?
Um, he's a little bit different than the past two Mizzou coaches, and that's not that I'm not saying that's in a bad way. That's definitely in a good way. Coach Pinkel was a little bit older, traditional, set in his ways. Wore his little team Nikes everywhere, and then Coach Odom was head down, hard nosed, wasn't really the most social person, honestly. And then you got Coach Drink, who's very social, who's very young, and when I first met him, he had on Jordans, and so like I say, he's a change up from both coaches, but at the same time, I see a lot of Pinkel in him. He's young, he's determined. I know he speaks a lot with Coach Pinkel. They have a really great relationship. And he's so personable. He's a witty guy too. He knows everything. He's kind of like a little football nerd looking guy, but you love it. And I think he's going to do great things here just by me being around him, because I'm telling you one thing, whenever you have a coach that the players can relate to and talk to about anything, those are the kind of coaches that you want to go out there and give everything for. And, sometimes talent isn't the most important thing on the team. It is the team. It is the brotherhood. I think he's going to do a great job at implementing that, and I'm looking forward to seeing great things. Hopefully, if I'm a part of it, I am. But in some aspect, I will be a part of it, either as a fan or just helping out from here and there.
Well, lastly, I was just going to ask, in general, a lot of people are going through tough situations right now throughout the entire country. You've always been an inspiration for a lot of people, getting past certain obstacles. I guess, is there any message you think you could offer to people right now that are struggling, whether it's they lost their job or they lost a loved one or anything going on right now in uncertain times?
During times like this, like you say, it's hard for everybody. So it was like I told people, that asked about the XFL, I was like, how selfish of me would it have been for me to just sit here and be, basically kind of pissed off. My thing is, at this point in life, and how I've always approached it, you plan ahead, but you also take everything one day at a time. If you start to look 2 weeks or a month or 2 months ahead or a year ahead, you lose sight of the things that's right there in front of you, or the things that's right there that's important. So right now it's one day at a time, just let's get through this day. Once we can do that, we just get through the next day, and then so forth. And so that's the only, I don't know, advice that I would give is just take it one day at a time. Stay prayed up and understand that your faith is everything. I was taught to pray and not worry. Those two don't go hand in hand. I was taught that a long time ago. Why pray if you're going to worry? So just make sure that you understand that, and I think everything else will be good.